Good evening, live from Puerto Rico. Join vacation here. Game. It is the opener of the season on September 3rd. First, before I get to that, I'm going to have some ground rules. Each day of the 12-part series is going to be live. I'm going to talk about only the opponent of the Miami Hurricanes, and the team I'm only going to talk about per day. So today I will be talking about the FAMU Rattlers, our opening game opponent on September 3rd at Sun Life Stadium, which is supposed to be ready. And that's another tough subject in time. But let's talk about the Florida A&M Rattlers. You know, they're coming. They have a new coach in Alex Woods, a former Cane. They were 1-10 last year, and they're eligible for the postseason. And they were eligible for the postseason this year because of APR-related sanctions. Like I said, Alex Wood is here for his second year, but they don't have a quarterback as fall camp starts for them. Okay? When you look at FAMU, they at one time in black college football, these guys were powerhouses. These guys were a team to be feared. You don't see that now. Okay? Now, Jake Gate, was a legend there at FAMU. But, they're picked to finish 8th in their conference this year. Okay? Of course, the A&T is picked to win it with 13 first place. But anyway, they don't return a lot of guys this year. They have 3 second team all MEAC selections. Preseason, they have Keontae Cash, wide receiver Montavious Williams, and punter Colby Blanton. They're on their second team. But on their first team, they're led by a senior linebacker in Curtis Alexander and senior defensive back Jock Bryant. Now, Alexander had 8.5 tackles for loss last year and was 5th on their team with 51 tackles. Now, Bryant had 75 tackles. That's tied for most on their team. He also had an INT against USF in last year's opener for FAMU. Now, when you look at FAMU, I looked at them, and to me, this is going to be a team that I think is going to have some struggles again. But I think with Alex Wood there, they're going to be going in the right direction. But I will tell you this. This is Rick's opener. And yes, it will be at Sun Life on September 3rd. And I will say this about FAMU. This is, like I said, this is a team that Kane should absolutely maul on September 3rd. I mean, Kane should be ready for this game. I mean, it's the opener. You got many expectations. It's Rick's debut as head coach here. This is a team that Kane should absolutely dismantle. Okay? So, when I look at them, I mean, you look at them and say, don't take them lightly. And I think now with Rick here, we're not going to take FAMU lightly. The last couple of years, couple times we've played FAMU, yeah, we've won big, but we haven't looked sharp against them the last couple times. I think with Rick here, that changes. That will change now that Rick's here. You need to see a good start early. You need to see a team that just absolutely comes out ready to play, not mess around, take care of business against a team that you should beat by 5 touchdowns easily. Okay? And get the starters out by half 2. By the third quarter, middle of third quarter, we should see the second and third stringers come in for the Canes because the game will be well in hand at that point. So, in short, that's the take on FAMU. It's really not much on FAMU to talk about this evening. Yeah, but again, my rule is let's talk about the FAMU Rattlers. I mean, this is my rule for the first game. Like I said, each day we'll talk about a different opponent. We'll talk about opponent in order. Like tomorrow in the second part of the series, we will talk about the FAMU Rattlers. The Florida Atlantic Owls. That will be our next opponent, which I'll talk about tomorrow. But at this time, any question on FAMU, feel free to fire away. Let's answer whatever questions you have on FAMU. Now, from our friends, let me just talk about from the state what the State of U has on FAMU. And I'm looking at them here. I'm looking at their preview. And when I look at them, this is a team, like I said, they've taken a beating, okay? They have not been in the FCF playoffs since 2001. They were, like I said, they were 1-10 last year. They're trying to just be a mediocre team, okay? Now let's be fair about them. Last year, they were in a lot of close games in their division. But they were poor, and they played them close, but they couldn't win. If FAMU starts winning a couple of those games, then maybe we could talk about it. But we've played them 10 times, and we've won 9 out of 10. How surprising. The only time FAMU beat us was in 1979. That was Howard's first season. Who was one of the quarterbacks on our 79 team? Mark Richt. He was the backup to Jim Kelly. And Mike Henrique. Now, if I recall correctly, Mike Henrique was a starter for a little while there before Jim Kelly took over. But this matchup, like I said, they have Carson Royal, who was their leading passer last year. And he saw time. He's a pro-style quarterback. They have a dual-threat quarterback also in Kenneth Coleman. And he split time with Royal last season. He'll do the same probably this year. I mentioned Jock Bryant earlier. But they have a pretty good back in Gerald Hearns, but he only had 177 yards as a freshman. He'll be better there. Of course, you know about the Marching 100 for FAMU. You know about that. If anything, the halftime show will be very entertaining because their band is just basically second to none. Okay? These guys are very, very good. Now, but they will have a lot of band members and a lot of players from South Florida. They'll enjoy the trip down there, but like I said, Rick's debut, team we should absolutely maul, like I said before. Some are expecting 40-7. I'm going to say even more than that. I'm going to say more along the lines of 65-7 Canes. Oh yeah. Come on. We will absolutely roll in this game. I wouldn't be shocked if we see the starters out by halftime, or at worst at the latest middle of third quarter. Not going to get anybody hurt. We're going to have bigger games down the road. It's the opener. We want to see where we are. Want to see where we're at this point in time. Like State of the U said, and I agree with them, this will be a laugher. This will be a game that will be, like I said, will be over by halftime, if not middle of second quarter. Okay. I should not have to worry too much about FAMU in this game, but my only concern between now and FSU, which really starts our season October 8th, and I'll talk about them later, is injuries and staying healthy. The only concern I would have before FSU, like in games like this, the FAMU, FAU, which I'll talk about tomorrow, App State on Wednesday, and Georgia Tech Thursday, is staying healthy. If we stay healthy, we win. We will win big this year if we stay healthy. But like I said, FAMU shouldn't be close, won't be close. If this is a game where you see second, third, maybe a lot of second and third stringers in this game is it. When we played them in 2014, yes, we won 41-7, But, you know, Brad was only in his second collegiate start at that time. You know, in fact, I'm going to play the highlights for you now. I'm going to play those now. Now, you consider the talent we had then, but consider who the coach was at the time, and consider who the coach is now. Don't know if we'll have Grace in this game. Still under an NCAA investigation. We'll see what happens there. Now consider the backs we have now. That could be even better than Duke. Now consider, like I said, look at the backs we have now. Gus, Yearby, Walton. That's almost terrifying. Can you imagine if Rick was coaching this guy? Now, to me, that's going to be the guy that must stay healthy this year. If he's healthy, I could see maybe 1,000-yard season out of Gus. Now, consider Coley will be the guy there that's in Darcett's spot. Gotta have a big year out of Barrios in the slot this year. Now, I think he'll be done by, this one I expect him to be done by the third quarter in this game as well. Yeah, okay, Gray's got to be one that comes up big for us this year. Now, that's going to be very important. Like I said, you know, Gus, expect a big game from Gus. Expect a big game from Brad in this game. Like I said, they say 41-7, like 14. I think it's going to be bigger than that. I'm going this game, Kane 65, FAMU 7. Be generous about that. I wouldn't be shocked if it's a shutout. So that's what I'm going with. So I'll be back tomorrow with part 2 of the series. We'll talk about the Florida Atlantic Owls at that point. So have a good night, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.